Most people never get to spend time with living chickens, despite there being well over 50 billion chickens raised for meat every year. But anyone who has spent time around chickens will tell you that they are inquisitive and full of personality. According to studies, chickens have vast cognitive abilities comparable to that of a human toddler. They are good problem solvers, they can count, they are sensitive to the welfare of their peers, they dream while they sleep and have complex communication skills, exhibiting at least 24 unique vocalizations depending on different scenarios or needs. Last week I was talking to someone in the town centre about factory farming, and they told me that it's not like that around here, that by shopping locally we can be sure of high welfare standards. I'm sure that he honestly believed that, but little did he know that within 6 miles of where we stood there were at least 2 industrial scale factory farming complexes for broiler chickens. One of these is Sutherland Farm in Bolsover, just outside of Chesterfield, Derbyshire. You wouldn't have a clue there was a huge industrial complex here if it weren't for that awful stench. Artificially created hills around the perimeter, planted with trees and bushes, hide the 4 huge barns from view. A quick Google search for the farm found this case study from a nearby company that sells supplements and oils, where they had trialled 2 products added to the chicken's drinking water, aiming to increase food and drink consumption. The study appears to brag of record-breaking FCR and EPEF statistics. FCR is feed conversion ratio, the amount of feed ingested by an animal which can be converted into 1 kilo of live weight. And EPEF means European Production Efficiency Factor, and is an equation based on average daily weight gain, how many birds die, and the FCR. It isn't just this case study, it is now becoming standard practice for farmers to use data analytics like this to make as much money as possible per chicken crop. The next part I find just plain revolting, bragging about managing to be so efficient in terms of weight gain despite the enormous amount of mortalities, which the study accepts is a result of broken legs due to their enormous weight, averaging 2.87 kgs at just 40 days old, when chickens can naturally live 7 to 10 years. In farms just like this all over the world, chickens reaching such huge and unnatural sizes means that many suffer tremendously. Being fattened up so quickly, they essentially have juvenile hearts in adult bodies. Their legs and organs simply can't keep up with the growth. Heart attacks, organ failures and leg breaks or deformities are all too common. Many become crippled under their own weight and die from being unable to get to the water source. Anonymously filmed footage shows the eerie inside of the complex. Dotted around the 4 enormous barns are large waste bins, filled with those who are deemed uneconomical, either because they weren't growing fast enough or because their tiny legs couldn't hold their unnatural weight. I don't know how many bins full of dead chickens there are outside the barns, but there are numerous small buildings that are labelled as bins that I suspect may store many more awaiting destruction. Inside the barns is a staggering number of chickens. Despite the huge industrial ventilation system, the concentration of ammonia is said to burn your eyes, nose and throat. The intense lights are on 24 hours per day to stimulate constant eating. There are blinds that come up in the daytime to allow a small amount of natural light to enter through frosted glass, and a few perching areas that allow the farm to claim that the chickens have enriched housing. Despite this, the overwhelming number of chickens here must be chaos for them. Chickens can recognise up to 100 faces of their own species, and they develop complex social structures known as pecking orders. Keeping upwards of 10,000 chickens in one space guarantees that they must suffer. Despite the workers throwing dead or dying birds in the outside bins daily, there are some chickens showing fresh injuries. If they aren't killed by the farmhands in the morning, they will likely die of thirst and in pain. Chickens are easily the most abused land animals on the planet. You might think that the chicken you buy comes from high welfare conditions, but a staggering amount of meat globally comes from factory farms like this. 95 to 99% of it in the UK. Over 982 million broiler chickens are killed for food each year in the UK alone, each and every one of them capable of a life experience that is uniquely their own. Each and every one of them capable of forming loving relationships. Each and every one of them deserves better than this.